Jonathan, it's fantastic to see you here tonight for the premiere of Testament of Youth. Now, how much responsibility do you feel when you take on the roles of real people who lived and went through terrible things in their lives?
Well, it's a huge responsibility, and you sort of feel the mantle of, the truth of it, and you want to just do that justice, really. And I suppose, unlike any other story, you're spoiled because you have a wealth of material that's first-hand from them, and from Jeffrey and from Edward and Roland and all their correspondence. And so it was amazing to be able to jump into a project and academically being able to research and get really into it. And so as much as it's terrifying to know that there's a legacy behind that you want to serve well, it's really brilliant as an actor to be able to just go, I've got this as my reference, and then you take that and you approach Juliet's incredible script with that. So you're equipped. You're equipped for war.
I like it. What was it about Vera's story that particularly touched you? Vera and, of course, the wider family and friends.
Well, I mean, everything that's going on, the story of Vera that's explored, incredibly in this film, but there's so much more around it. So I encourage people to read her memoirs. It's amazing because it starts at her fighting to get into Oxford, and then it goes on for her fighting for love in an oppressive society, and there's fighting for all the boys in her life to stay on the home front, and then it's fighting with the grief, and she's constantly fighting, and she comes to it and she's strong. And it's about the human capacity, it's about just how much humans can endure, which I think actually in this modern day and age, I think people are very willing to go, oh, this has happened to me, and it's not what happens to you, I think it's how you deal with it. And Vera Brittain is incredible for that, and so she's a bit of an idol.
And you mentioned modern audiences. What do you think it's got to say to modern audiences, Testament of Youth?
Well, it's it's the relationships, and she has her brother Edward, she has her best friend Victor, her lover Roland. It's a timeless story of affection, and although the contexts are obviously massively different in a modern audience, it's about that fighting to be an adult and to be heard, and I think that's probably something that relates, and it's just one of those things that we've been spoiled. It's an amazing story, and I think the modern audience will relate to that and enjoy it.
And we're all very excited, of course, for your next project that we're hoping to see in the not too distant future, Broadchurch, the sequel.
I'm not too sure. I don't know what you're talking about. What's Broadchurch? I don't know.
That little thing that people were tweeting about a little bit last year, occasionally.
Yeah. No, I mean, thank God now I can actually say that I'm doing it with the second series, because for a while, we kind of lived in a cupboard under the stairs like Harry Potter, and couldn't really say that I was doing it. But yeah, I've just finished last week, and it promises to be a bit of a surprise. I think it'll be really exciting, and it was lovely to do again. So,
what was the most exciting thing about having new cast members brought in, like Mira Sayal, and you've got as well, you've got Marianne and Charlotte.
Marianne's brilliant. It's amazing because it just gives everyone an opportunity to play scenes with different people, and it's a community that was so well set up by Chris Chibnall. And it's always fascinating when you have something. It was broken at the end of series 1, and what happens when more people come in, and how can that fracture it further, or can it bring it back together?